Breaking news that will shake the entire league. You have to see this. Our star quarterback is approaching what could be his final moment leading the offense, and the head coach's seat is getting hotter than ever. This is a situation that could redefine the franchise's future for years to come. Before we dive into the details, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me your name and the city where you are watching from in the comments. Let's get into the facts. The situation in Cleveland has reached a critical boiling point as we head into the final week of the regular season. Sources close to the organization indicate that the front office is currently at a massive crossroads regarding the future of the quarterback position. Shedeur Sanders is set to make his 7th and final start of the season against the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 17, and the stakes could not be higher for the young signal caller. Since taking over the reins from Dillon Gabriel in Week 12, the journey for Shedeur Sanders has been nothing short of a statistical and emotional roller coaster. Over the course of 6 starts, he has compiled a 2-4 record, throwing for 1,289 yards. While the yardage shows potential, the efficiency remains a glaring concern for the decision-makers in the building. Sanders has recorded 7 touchdowns against 10 interceptions, a ratio that often keeps NFL general managers up at night when considering long-term investments. Despite these struggles, head coach Kevin Stefanski has remained publicly supportive, though notably guarded about the future. When pressed about whether this final game serves as a trial for next season, Kevin Stefanski was firm in his stance, stating he has the blinders on for the Cincinnati matchup. This rhetoric is typical of a coach trying to maintain locker room stability, but the reality behind the scenes is far more complex. The team currently holds 2 first-round picks in the upcoming draft, a massive capital that allows them to move in any direction they choose. Do they stick with Shedeur Sanders and hope the constant improvement Kevin Stefanski mentions translates into wins? Or do they use that draft capital to reset the clock with a new prospect? The internal debate is reportedly intense. Kevin Stefanski himself is facing a mountain of uncertainty. There are whispers throughout the league regarding his job security and whether he will remain with the franchise beyond this season. When asked about his own future, Kevin Stefanski declined to comment, focusing entirely on the Sunday game in Cincinnati. This tactical focus is necessary because the Bengals' defense presents a unique opportunity. Cincinnati currently ranks dead last in the NFL, giving up a staggering 392.2 yards per game. For Shedeur Sanders, this is a get-right game of the highest order. A dominant performance could silence the critics and provide the leverage needed for the coaching staff to advocate for his retention. On the other hand, another multi-interception game against the league's worst statistical defense might seal his fate as a backup or a trade piece. We must also look at the supporting cast that has emerged during this turbulent season. The rookie class has been a bright spot in an otherwise cloudy season. Tight end Harold Fannin has emerged as a legitimate star, leading the team in every receiving category and providing Shedeur Sanders with a reliable safety valve in the middle of the field. Defensively, linebacker Carson Schwessinger has played at a level that has him positioned as the favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. The talent is there. Names like Mason Graham, Quinshon Judkins, and Dylan Sampson have shown they can be the foundation of a winning team. The question is whether Shedeur Sanders is the right architect to lead them. Looking back at the Week 16 win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, we saw the duality of Shedeur Sanders. He threw for 186 yards and a touchdown, helping secure a victory over a bitter rival. However, the offense stagnated in the second half, scoring only 13 points total. Sanders was his own toughest critic after that game, acknowledging that the offense must be better and that he personally has to do more. This level of accountability is what Kevin Stefanski finds most exciting about the young quarterback. The coaching staff sees a player who is conscientious and willing to put in the work to refine his technique. But in the NFL, conscientiousness doesn't always translate to job security if the scoreboard doesn't reflect it. The financial implications are also significant. With 2 first-round picks, the Browns are in a position where they can afford a rookie contract for a top-tier quarterback, which would free up salary cap space to bolster the offensive line or the secondary. If they commit to Shedeur Sanders, they are essentially betting that his ceiling is higher than anyone they could find in the draft. History tells us that the final game of the season for a struggling team often serves as the final evidence for a regime change. If Shedeur Sanders and Kevin Stefanski cannot put together a cohesive, winning performance against a vulnerable Bengals team, the owner may decide that a total house cleaning is the only way forward. The pressure in the building is palpable. We are talking about a franchise that has spent decades searching for stability at the quarterback position. Every decision is magnified, and every mistake is scrutinized. As Shedeur Sanders prepares for this Week 17 clash, he isn't just playing for a win, he is playing for his career as a starter in this league. The tactical impact of this game cannot be overstated. If Sanders can exploit the Bengals secondary and utilize Harold Fannin effectively, it proves he can execute a game plan against NFL-level competition.
If the interceptions continue to pile up, it suggests a lack of growth in field vision. The next few days will be the most important in the recent history of the team. We will be watching every snap, every throw, and every sideline interaction between Shedeur Sanders and Kevin Stefanski to see if there are signs of a long-term partnership or a final farewell. The NFL is a business of results, and for the quarterback and the coach, the time for excuses has run out. Sunday in Cincinnati will provide the answers we have all been waiting for. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor the developments from the facility, because as soon as that final whistle blows, the real work for the offseason begins, and it might start with some of the biggest names in the building being shown the door. This is truly a make-or-break moment for the future of the organization.